Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. It is time for another Ghost Post unboxing. This is the second mailing of Disney's new Haunted Mansion 3-part series that I subscribed to a while back, and we did a great unboxing video last time that a lot of you enjoyed, and then we sent Mike out to Disneyland to do the in-park component, and he hit a wall, and we were awaiting the next shipment. Well, it has arrived, so let's see what's in the box and what the Haunted Mansion has in store for us this time. Pulling out the box from within the box it came in, we find a very similar looking box to last time. It has the Haunted Mansion plaque on the outside, and for the most part I can't really see any differences from the last one. We'll turn it around here, see if we notice anything. Oh, there's a picture of a house, a mansion if you will. Looks somewhat familiar, but definitely not any of the Haunted Mansions that we're used to from the parks. But let's go ahead and open this up and see what we have. Oh, here's a detail I forgot to point out last time, where it says, "Final arrangement by I Am Mortal." Fun puns always. So, opening it up. Looks like a familiar setup to last time with some new goodies from the Haunted Mansion. Up here we have a sealed envelope that we'll be opening here shortly. And inside here, maybe some more tarot cards. I don't know, we'll see. Some sort of little piano, maybe a music box. That looks fun. And this familiar bat symbol is just like the organ that's in the Haunted Mansion. And then some sort of document, kind of resembles blueprints. So let's take these out of the box and see where we go. Pretty solid piece this time. This is definitely not made of cardboard like everything, or almost everything was last time. This is a real good Haunted Mansion collectible here. We have the HM plaque logo on the back with some of those symbols that we'll be able to scan with the Ghost Post app on the phone, so we'll get to that in a bit. The top seems to open up, and there is indeed a music box inside. So let's turn the little crank and hear what it sounds like. Interesting. Absolutely no sound whatsoever. So I'm guessing somehow that interacts with something else that we'll be doing in order to make noise. Maybe it interacts with the phone, maybe it's something else that's in here. I don't know quite yet, but we'll figure it out. Let's keep pulling things out before we dive into anything here. Got this pack, the symbol once again. We'll have to scan and see what that's all about. Let's pull these out and see what cards we can find. Difficult to do with one hand. All right, I've not looked at these yet. We have the crypt, the library. So rather than the characters, which the last set of cards were, looks like these are locations in the Haunted Mansion, all very familiar to anyone who's been through the attraction many times. There's the stretching gallery and the music room, the endless hall, the great hall. Normally everyone refers to that as the ballroom, so that's an interesting choice of words. The attic, the portrait gallery, and finally the foyer, or foyer if you will. And on the back side, great graphic. So lastly from this part of the box, the blueprint. And this one's definitely going to require two hands to unfold, so be back in a second. Alright, so this is rather neat. It is in fact a blueprint for the mansion itself. We have all the familiar spaces from the different floors, ones that I just mentioned on the tarot cards. Lots of writings on here, and then naturally here's the symbol in the corner that we'll be able to scan. We'll get to that in a bit. And site plan, north, scale, floor plan, level 1, all that sort of thing. Looks very official. Wonder what we'll need to do with this. I suppose we'll find out shortly. Now, let's see if there's anything else hiding in this box. Pick up the cardboard. Nothing in there, but yes, indeed. Some sort of large wheel. I remember when Mike was at Disneyland, it definitely referenced doing something with a wheel or a disc. So this could probably be what that was looking for. Some little pegs. Here's the wheel itself. Looks like this might be some sort of zoetrope type animation that we'll have to fold up. Here's some instructions, some different steps to do a dance, maybe. So, all right, lots of stuff to play with. Let's get rolling here. Open up the envelope, see what's inside, follow the instructions, and find out what messages the ghosts have for us this time. Okay, pulling out the papers, we have a nice long letter from the Ghost Relations Department that I'm sure is the introduction to all of this. We also have a new copy of the Grimm Gazette, and inside that, some sort of symbol-filled, foldable corridor of doors card. We'll figure out what to do with that in here in just a minute. All right, let's go to this letter and see what it says. Dearest mortal and esteemed ally of ghosts, we cannot begin to understand how you have done it, but it seems you have thoroughly impressed our spectral friends. The small treasures included in this second shipment come directly from the spirits and have been compiled specifically for your use. A consequence of this curious turn is that we cannot exactly say some of these are, nor how they work. We transcribe below the contents of the package as they arrived, spelled in the dust that settled on our desks overnight. The most recent edition of the Grimm Gazette, a music box modeled on our mansion's very own pipe organ, a phénakistoscope conceived by the ghosts to be constructed to their specifications. A fine drawing features some of the doors of our esteemed mansion, blueprints displaying some of the rooms our haunts inhabit, additional divination cards reproduced from the deck of the great Madame Leota. Eternally yours, the Ghost Relations Department. P.S. The ghosts have added their own messages to this letter. Most mortals find spirit writing easiest to read when the paper is dampened with water. So same sort of flow to this as last time. I guess I will go get something damp and come back and see what message the spirits have for us. Got a wet paper towel. We'll just put that on here, see what we can reveal. Lots of words showing up. And even this time, some pictures and symbols. All right, let's read. You are indeed a talented individual, even Madame Leota declares it. And this discovery of your powers couldn't come too soon. To understand what will restore our ability to travel, we need measurements from the land of the living. In this box, you'll find tools to make these observations. Perhaps a reflection on your tea leaves will help guide you. You already have a sheet devoured by moths. Tear it to strips to make the piano sing. Observe the movements of the dancers as this spins. Note the steps and match the moth-eaten strips. Doors, those pesky things always moving about. The best and most recent we have, need another word, to further your studies of our travels. And down here, the crows are nesting in the caves, a sure omen of your discoveries to come. Very cryptic indeed. Looks like it's referencing the teacup from last time, so I'm going to have to go bust out the previous Ghost Post mailing. And sounds like I need to be a little destructive of the last one in order to make the music box go, which is an interesting predicament for collectors of this. I could definitely see a lot of people not willing to tear up something from last time in the hopes of keeping its resale value or just sort of keeping it intact for the future. I, on the other hand, will gladly do it and in order to see what the music box does, and we'll take it from there. So I think the first step before we get into all of that, though, is to open up this Grimm Gazette and just take a look at that. The great unraveling may end. Madame Leota shocks spirit world by accepting the living into the circle of mediumship, but can they help? Lots more fun articles to read from within the world of the mansion. Madame Leota Speaks, Metaphysics Demystified. More fun little advertisements. So here's some spaces for cards. Guessing this has to do with the cards that we just received. There's fingers that point to each other. I'll have to read what this says in order to know what to do with the cards. More articles, and the back page is once again the tea leaves that will require the teacup. So, time to get scanning and see what cool messages we have from the app. Okay, once again fired up the Phantom Radio app, and I think I'll start by scanning the back of this music box, because that's the coolest thing that came with this set this time. A little reflective symbols might be difficult to scan. We'll see how all this works. Yeah, definitely a tough one, so we can input the symbols manually, which we didn't do last time, so this will be sort of fun to do. We have the moon and the crosshair looking thing, and finally this little guy. And go.
Hello. This music box is very important. It is the way you will send us the measurements of spectral energy that you discover. But before this, you must make the measurements. And so, first, you must assemble the phénakistoscope, or as we like to call it, the scope. Is there a big round disc you can scan?
Indeed there is, and that's kind of the same message that Mike got at Disneyland, so I guess the next step is to find the symbols on the big round disc and scan it. So there are the symbols right there. This definitely resembles that 13-hour clock that's in the Haunted Mansion, which is pretty cool. So let's fire up the scanner on this one and see what he says about the phénakistoscope, or whatever it is.
We've sent you a powerful tool for measuring spectral energies. It's called a phénakistoscope. Let's just call it the scope from here on out, please and thank you. We made this scope especially for your mortal hands. I'm quite sure we got it right. Though, to tell the truth, it's been some time since any of us on the committee were mortals. The important thing is that you must assemble your scope. If you look in the shipment we sent you, there will be a large disc. Attach the handle on the clock side, the side where there are no dancers. When you are finished putting your scope together, scan it for me.
Okay, time to assemble it. And there we have it, one assembled scope. Put the handle on it, had to just screw it together, pretty simple. And now she asked me to scan it again, so that's exactly what I'm going to do.
You've constructed your scope. Now you're ready to take some measurements of the ebb and flow of ghostly energies. First, find a mirror. Now, stand before it and hold the scope in front of you. Position the scope so that it's between you and the mirror. Have the dancer side facing the mirror and the 13-hour clock facing you. Look through the slits and give it a spin. Do you see the dancers dancing? Good. Now you're ready to measure. Scan the other side, and I'll tell you what you're looking for.
Okay, I found a mirror. Here we're looking at this, and now I'm going to try to capture what happens when I spin it, and you look through these little slits here. Bit hard to see, but you can definitely make out the dancers dancing on the other side, which is cool. The little sort of organ in the middle seems to hop up and down as it's supposedly playing music. Let's try it one more time. Okay, and then it asked me to scan the other side.
Dance! Dance! But how do the dancers turn? How does the tune go? Give the scope a spin. When it stops, look at the markings on the clock face. These are dance steps. Which set of steps is at the top? Now, look at the Bloodmere and Broom ad, the one we sent to you in the first box. Moths are masters of the dance. It's their birth and death and all the moments in between. Carefully tear out the moth-eaten strip that corresponds to your scope. Got it? Look for the dance steps on the end of each strip. Find the ones that your dancers were dancing. Now, scan the music box when you're ready to play us the tune that the dancers danced.
So that was quite the extensive instruction there. Looks like upon closer examination of this wheel, there are 2 different dance steps that are part of it, but then I also see a third one sort of very faintly hiding in here. Maybe that's something we're supposed to reveal with a black light perhaps, or it glows in the dark perhaps. Either way, I went ahead and grabbed the Bloodmere and Broom's piece of paper from the first time, and this is where it's asking me to tear it apart. There are perforated lines going on this, so I'm going to go ahead and do that so that these 3 strips can be put through this music box, and then it will actually play something. So I know all you mansion collectors out there might be cringing at the moment for actually folding something that came that's a piece of paper and then tearing it apart, but it's just what we got to do to play along. And done. We now have 3 torn off strips. Each one seems to have some dance steps at the end of them. And going back to what was received, I don't see any that specifically out. This pattern looks very familiar with that one. So maybe that's the one it wants us to start with. I'm not sure what these other 2 are. So maybe different people receive different things, or it's just something we're going to have to unlock here. Okay. If I look on this side of this strip, then I see this one matches that one. So I guess we want this and this to start with, and we'll put this one aside. And it asked us to start with the one that it ended up on the spin. I think I stopped on that one, so let's see what happens if I run this through the music box. But before I put it in there, it asked me to scan the music box, and that didn't work out so well last time, so we'll go ahead and just enter the symbols. See if it produces the same message or a different one.
Guten Tag. We are so eager to find out the measurements you have made using the scope. When you have the measurements, you can send them to us by using the moth-eaten paper that you received last month. Just put the paper strip in the music box, where the keys would be on a piano. When you're ready to transmit your finding, turn the crank and the ghostly music will travel to us. So go ahead. We are listening.
Now it's saying the app wants to access the microphone. So let's get this set up. Put this right in here. put the app right here. Hit continue. I'm just going to put this down.
Aha! Yes, those readings are quite interesting. It sounds like you are on the right track. Give the scope another spin and see what you find next. Are there more dance steps that are revealed? Play the matching music strip for us when you find it. Go ahead. We are listening.
All right, well, let's finish this one first. Such a lovely tune. All right, so I don't think we actually need to spin this again. We sort of already identified what's the other matching tune. So I will just load it up here. And I'm going to hit continue on the app once again to listen in. That time it didn't register anything. So maybe we need...
You know that doesn't sound right. Try something else. Look again at the scope and see what dance steps you find. Match those to the markings on the ends of the moth-eaten strips. When you're ready, go ahead and play it. I'm listening.
Interesting. So maybe this is where I look at the hidden one on there and try to find a different one. Okay, so I located the strip. It's actually the back side of one of them that matches the hidden dance steps on the scope. So we're going to feed that in, see if that works.
Bravo! Yeah! That is the very making of the sense. It is possible for you to get an even more accurate reading in the dark. You know how the ghosts prefer a little bit of gloom. Perhaps the effigies will too. Try viewing the scope in the dark and see what you find. Perhaps a new pattern of dance steps will appear. If you discover a new strip matching those steps, play it for us. Go on. We are listening.
Yeah, it looks like I got ahead of myself there. I already saw the one that apparently is supposed to glow in the dark, but we'll go ahead and take this in the dark anyway just to see it happen. And indeed, it glows in the dark.
discovery. The strongest readings indeed. But, I confess it is not what we expected. And I am not entirely certain what it means. Perhaps Madame Leota will have the right idea. Yoo-hoo! Madame Leota! We have the most interesting readings for you to hear.
Well done. That music. It reminds me of something. Something I'd half forgotten.
I was thinking the same thing.
There is a corridor of doors in the mansion, and I have been known to pace up and down that hallway to clear my head. You should have a drawing of that same corridor. Scan it for me.
Okay, looks like that worked, and it's time to scan the corridor.
That music you played. I seem to vaguely recall hearing something like it whilst pacing up and down this corridor. But I was never able to find its source. The truth is, the mansion's geography changes all the time, and it can be difficult to know what leads where. The connections are made through eldritch geometry that beggar our language itself. In other words, the doors in this corridor are not always in this corridor. Sometimes, to inspire my thoughts, I count the doors. It's like a meditation, a ritual, like how you mortals count sheep. Join me for a stroll in this corridor. Look at the drawing in front of you. Let's count the doors together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 doors. Yes, that's what I have here, too. If I need new insights, I spin around. You should try it. To get the effect, instead of spinning yourself around, try spinning the image around. See those places where the drawing already wants to tear? Go ahead and carefully separate it into those 3 pieces. Now, mix them around. Put the image back together like so. Smallest piece in the upper left, medium-sized piece in the upper right, and the largest piece? Your premonition is correct. Underneath. Let's count the doors again. Maybe some inspiration will arrive. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still see 7 doors. How many do you see? Tune the radio in again by scanning your drawing in this new configuration. Let's have a look.
All right, let's put this together in the manner that she said. If we go back to the transcript, she said, put the image back together, the smallest piece in the upper left, right there, and the medium-sized piece in the upper right, right there, and the largest piece underneath. There we go. Slightly different image. We'll scan that as requested.
Oh, 8 doors. That's not what I see at all. Could it be? No, it's too far-fetched. And yet, I cannot be certain, but I think you found the door to the forgotten room. I'd never have believed it. If you've truly found it, help could be at hand. Now, We just need to locate the door within the mansion. These things move around so much. Because you're the one who can see it. Only you can do this. We must find that door. Gather these 3 things. The latest edition of the Grim Gazette. And some cards from my deck. I'm told you have the cards numbered 11 through 20. Finally, retrieve the latest blueprints to the mansion. My premonition to send those along was a strong one. When you have these 3 things together, newspaper, cards, and blueprints, scan the blueprints, and we'll begin.
So I gathered the items Madame Leota wanted me to and laid out the blueprint once again, and time to scan it.
Well, now I've seen everything.
How about that?
Oh, it's a new day, fellas. Don't you forget it. Madame Leota's not just tolerating the living. She's invited them to help out.
Yeah, but you think they're up to the job?
The committee does. The Ghost Relations Department does. Who are we to say no? Rack 'em up.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in them boxes. You really think mortals are going to figure out how to use it all to take the measurements that Victor and Madame Leota need?
I really think they'd better, or we're all doomed. Okay, here we go.
Good break. Foolish mortals. Maybe they're not that foolish, huh?
I hear some of those tools in them boxes let the mortals listen in on us, right here in the mansion.
Oh, yeah. They can hear us. They're probably listening to us right now.
Well, I'll be. Hello out there? What? How are you? Well, that's good. Me? Oh, well, I'll tell you, I'm just dead. Tired? There's just so much going on here. The boys and I, we're shooting some pool as it is.
You know they're not going to answer.
And they're solids. We're pretty much running the table.
Well, that's what happens when you accidentally scan the Grim Gazette instead of the blueprint, which sounds like I could have scanned that at the beginning and been fine. So let's move on from there back to the blueprint. See if we can get it to scan instead. In fact, I'm just going to put it in the code manually just to make sure we get that right this time. So the symbols on the blueprint are moon and this little guy and then the bullseye.
Oh, good. You have the blueprints, and yes, it's a recent set. These rooms move around so much. Over the years, the older blueprints are more fanciful than true. And do you have my cards, numbers 11 through 20? And the current edition of the Grim Gazette near at hand? Now, so that I can hear you knock, set your device atop the box in which the blueprints and other objects were delivered. Knock once on the box when you are ready to proceed.
Okay. Here's the box.
Good. You have the newspaper, cards, and blueprints. Now we may begin our search for that extra door. As you are the only one who can see that door at present, I will trust you to guide us to it. First, open the newspaper to the bridge column. Look at the cross marks on the right edge of the bridge column on page 5. Turn the Grim Gazette 90 degrees so that the cross marks are nearest you and page 4 is farthest away from you on the table. Now, overlay the blueprints on top of the newspaper so that the cross marks at the bottom of the blueprints align with those to the right of the bridge column. Knock once on the box when you have completed this.
So here are the cross marks on the blueprint that it wants me to align. And I'm going to have to figure out how to get this blueprint to stop from rolling up, so give me just a sec while I set this up.
See that there are 9 boxes, yes? Now, when looking at the blueprints overlapped atop these boxes, each box should contain the name of a single room. Do you see it? Now, deal the cards. Place one on each box, taking care that the names of the rooms on the cards match the names of the rooms on the blueprints underneath them. Knock once on the box when you have completed this.
Okay, so I took the blueprint and using the different rooms that are on here in the order that they're in, I laid out the cards on the Grim Gazette in their proper spots.
Good. Now we shall follow your lead to locate this mysteriously appearing door. Take a talisman, perhaps a coin from your pocket, or other small object on which you can focus your energy. Knock once on the box when you have secured your talisman. I'm sure you selected well. Now, concentrate on the mysterious door. As I cannot see the door, you will need to lead our search through the mansion. Let's start as most visitors do, in the foyer, or entry hall as some ghosts call it. Place your talisman on that card. Good. Knock once on the box when you have your talisman in place. Now you will be the guide. We are all in your hands. Once you move from the foyer, the first room, the spectral interference will be too strong for me to determine precisely which room you are in. We will count on your talents and intuition to guide us. As you are mortal, you should only move between the rooms that are connected by a flat side. Look at the newspaper diagram and follow the arrows. For example, from the foyer, you can move into 3 different rooms. The stretching room, the great hall, or the crypt. Do you see? Knock once on the box if you understand. Are you ready? Count the letters of the name of the room you are in. Foyer, 5 letters. That means you will move 5 times. Ready? For the first move, move into any of the 3 rooms connected to the foyer on the flat sides of the cards. That would be the Great Hall, the Crypt, or the Stretching Room. And move! That's move number 1. Your talisman is now in a new room. Now, move 4 more times. 1 for each of the remaining letters in the name of the room in which you started. You may visit a room more than once if you wish. Let the spirit be your guide. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knock once on the box when you have completed all of your moves. As yet, you have traveled through many rooms. I don't quite have a reading on you. Keep your talisman where you are and continue to focus on the mysterious door. Flickers and omens, whisper and creak. Guide this mortal To the room we now seek. I am still not certain where you are, but I believe I know where you are not. We can eliminate the foyer as you are not in that room. Remove that card and leave the others in place. Look at the name of the room your talisman is in. Again, count the letters in that name. Now move the number of spaces as there are letters in the name of the room. Remember, only move into the neighboring rooms that touch the edges of your card. Do not move diagonally. Only ghosts can do that. Ready? Move. Knock once on the box when you have completed all of your moves.
Now, this is quite a process. There are 17 letters in Stretching Gallery, so let's go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And as you've seen, Madame Leota doesn't particularly respond to the one knock that she likes, so I have to give her a few knocks on the side of the box in order to make her pay attention. So let's see where this goes from here.
Your focus on the door must have been strong. It is good to have you as our guide. Hinges and handles, ceiling and floor, help us locate this mysterious door. I still cannot get a reading on where you are, but I can sense that you are not in the stretching room or the music room. We can eliminate those rooms from our search. Remove those cards and leave the others in the same place. Now, look at the name of the room your talisman is in. Count the letters in the name of that room. Now move as many times as there are letters. And count carefully. Our afterlives depend on you. Ready? Begin. Knock once on the box when you have completed all of your moves.
She's very thorough in her instructions. 15 letters this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Good. You are very focused. A natural medium. Now, my turn to locate you. Shadows and shimmers, glimpse of the beyond. Take note of our crisis. Time to respond. I can sense that you are not in the portrait gallery, so we can eliminate that from our search. Remove the card and leave the others where they are. Good. Again, look to the name of the room that your talisman now marks. Carefully count the letters in that name. Keep your focus and move your talisman the number of times as indicated by the number of letters in the name of the room. Ready? And move. Knock once on the box when you have completed all of your moves.
Okay, I think I get what's going on here. Her instructions are getting a little repetitive. 7 letters this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Excellent. You are a focused and admirable guide. Scrying bowls and runes, cards that you are not in the crypt or the library. Let us remove those cards, as we need not look for the mysterious door there. I sense the answer is at hand. Once more, count the letters in the name of the room that your talisman has landed upon. Move that number of spaces. Keep your concentration. And begin. Knock once when you have completed all of your moves.
Okay, sounds like one more time. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Cobwebs and candle wax, chill of the tomb, show us the way to the forgotten room. Aha! I sense you are in the great hall, our ballroom. That is where we shall look for this mysterious door. Thank you for your tireless focus and aid in this search. We could not have done it without you. Knock once more on the box, and I will summon the rest of the ghosts to look for this forgotten room. Focus on that door and knock on the box.
Okay, I am very focused. I'm ready to find this door.
Yes, it's a ballroom. We must find it.
Where? I don't see it anywhere.
Are you certain it's here?
Well, we looked up near the ceiling.
What? Did you see anything? A bat. And the ceiling.
No, there was nothing unusual.
Madam Leota, it is not working.
Do not give up. We are close. If you can still hear me, my mortal friend, focus all of your attention on the door. If you can send enough of your energy, it will become visible to us. Think only of the door. The door.
Oh!
The door! Open it!
I can't.
It appears to be locked.
What's a door to a ghost? I'm going through.
Ezra, no!
Oh! Ouch! That looks like a special kind of lock that also keeps ghosts out.
Now you tell me. Oh, that hurt me right down to the bone.
Oh, this is a catastrophe.
Calm yourselves. We have come this far. We will not be denied now. Let us examine this lock. It looks like...
Oh, like a piano.
A tiny piano. How fascinating. And is that an inscription on the piano?
Looks like some sort of poem. Or epitaph. Or something.
Yeah! It says, play as the luminous dancers dance at dusk.
Very alliterative.
But we dance all the time. And Victor knows all the tunes. What could it be?
It appears we once again need the help of our mortal friends. Do you recall the measurement that you found by using the scope, the phénakistoscope in the dark? Play that music strip again. Play it for us now. Go on. We are listening.
To continue, or tap continue, ready to play, begin playing your music is what it says on the screen. So, back to this. We have to pull out this one that we found in the dark, which I will find here and get set up, and then we'll play it. Okay, here's the matching one, and I'm going to load it into the music box. All loaded and ready to go. I'm going to hit continue and play this music to hopefully, finally, unlock this door.
play that same tune on this tiny piano on the door.
It's opening. The door is opening.
But what's inside?
Wait a minute.
Ooh, you are all gonna want to see this.
It is as I'd hoped.
It's the forgotten room.
I don't remember hearing about a forgotten room.
That's why they call it Forgotten.
It's said to be the most haunted of haunted places in the whole of our haunted mansion.
Does that mean it can get rid of the fog?
And help us get back to hitching.
I certainly hope so. We shall see. But with such assistance as these mortals have provided, I cannot help but be hopeful. Ms. Slater, assemble your committee at once. We have much work to do if we are to discover how to use the Forgotten Room to save the mansion.
Right away, Madam Leota.
And to you, our mortal friend, you have shown yourself to be a powerful medium indeed. But I fear we are about to face our greatest challenge yet, and will need all the help that you are able to provide. We will first survey the contents of this room. After we have finished this catalog, we will call again on your expert mortal hands. Prepare yourself. We will be in touch.
Lovely. To be continued, it seems. But there's still a couple more things we can do here before we wrap this up. Of course, I had pulled out the teacup from last time, and I haven't looked at this, the tea leaves from this Grim Gazette, so I'm going to set that up right now. The teacup is in place, and let's see what message the leaves have in store for us this time. Looks like it says, "Seek Forgotten Room." Well, we've definitely been doing that for quite a while. And so, one final thing I want to check here is the Disneyland component of this. If I go to the screen here, it says, "Visit Esmeralda for a special reading of your fortune." Now, I don't know if that's something new, if something has changed in the park, or if it's exactly the same. So we'll leave that as a ... for Mike to go check out at Disneyland. If there is something new that has appeared as a result of this second box, he will definitely chime in with another video. If not, then we'll just see you next time. Overall, this second mailing of the Ghost Post, very entertaining, if not too much. The ending with Madame Leota and the cards was a bit tedious, but the end result was kind of cool. She figured out where I was, and we figured out the door to the mystery room, and that's leaving a really curious what's coming next, because clearly the next box will be items from this secret room in the Haunted Mansion. Now, it would be really cool if there really was a secret room in the Haunted Mansion that somebody could actually go to in person at Disneyland. That maybe that's the result of this whole thing. Don't know at this point. So, like I said, Mike will have to go out there and check things out. But in the meantime, here's the mess that's left over. I'm going to go try to put all of this back in the box that it came in. And until next time, we'll see you when the third and final Ghost Post arrives. Make sure you head to InsideTheMagic.net to see plenty of photos and more details about the Haunted Mansion Ghost Post from the Ghost Relations Department.